digital marketing school that's online, and we're based out of Asheville, North Carolina. And I spend most of my days teaching students how to do social media, search engine optimization, and other forms of digital marketing. So today we're going to talk about how to take your social media to the next level. And this is a really rich subject that in just 15 to 18 minutes is really hard to cover because there's so many things to dig into. But today I'm going to talk to you basically about the keys to success. And there's 5 keys that I'm going to give you. And I think you'll be surprised that these keys are not necessarily technical, they're not necessarily focused on one tool or one strategy. They're actually the core foundation of what social media is really about. And if you can master these 5 things and bring them into your approach, you can really change the effect of your social media and have greater impact. So key number 1 is feelings. And as I've worked as an entrepreneur and been in the business field, one of the things that I hate the most is that somehow feelings aren't supposed to be part of business. Which is kind of funny, since as human beings, that's literally how we operate on a day-to-day. So make people the center of your social media marketing and communications and put their experience first. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio did a number of studies in the 1990s, and what he was able to prove is that as humans, we use both the cognitive and the emotional part of our brain to make decisions. Not only do we use both of these things to make decisions, but the more difficult, the more stressful, the more complex that the actual decision or choice becomes, the more that we shift into the emotional part of our brain. So every time that we choose to purchase something, or go to an event, or literally do anything, it is because of our feelings first. And then right after that, our logic jumps in. It's like, it's okay that you did this thing because blah, 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 blah. Right? So our logic steps in and justifies our emotions, but our emotions are the only thing that allow us to take action. And in his studies, he discovered that people that have injuries to the emotional part of their brain are not able to make decisions. Right? They can't choose between things because of that. So it is very important to understand that social media is centered around the emotional experience. Emotion is also directly related to your memory. So if I don't feel something about a person, a product, a brand, a situation, an experience, I just forget about it with probably thousands of other things that did not really move me throughout my day. Right? So in America especially, we are receiving lots of information from everywhere. The only things that become sticky are the things that gave us a feeling that stood out. So it's very important that your social media really focus in on the emotional connection that it's making so that you become memorable. So if you want your brand, your products, your services, your events to be something that people are talking about, that they're sharing online, and that they're coming back later to say, hey, that experience was so wonderful, I want more, it's incredibly important that you connect with them on that feeling level. So social media creates this amazing opportunity for businesses and organizations to share the love, share the joy, share the pain, share the struggle, right? To make that real human connection, and that's what drives success. So Jonas Sachs, he's an author. He said, good marketers see consumers as complete human beings with all the dimensions real people have. So it's time for us to start thinking of our customers as real whole people the same way that we are. Key number 2, listening. Listen to others and work to provide them with real value and benefits. Ask people what they care about. Pay close attention to what they're saying to you. When people reach out with their feedback, let them know that it matters. In the world of marketing, communications, and advertising, we're often coming at it from a broadcasting perspective. And to me, that's the #1 mistake that companies are making in social media, right? Essentially, instead of thinking about this back and forth and this exchange, which is what communication actually means, we think about it as talking at people, telling them things and then walking away. And that's the old way of doing marketing, and it doesn't really apply to the social media world anymore. So your business, your brand, your organization is contributing to people's lives. It's there to serve them, and you need to really communicate that, not just by telling them things, but also really paying attention to the feedback you're receiving. There's really simple actions that you can take right away in order to do this. First, respond to all comments and reviews on any of your social media accounts. I'm amazed at how many people, someone comments on their page, whether it's Twitter or Pinterest or Facebook, and they don't say anything. I'm like, why didn't you respond? And they're like, well, they didn't ask me a question. And I'm like, okay, so if Kate says, hey Sarah, I really like your scarf, I'm like, that wasn't a question. Right? That doesn't make any sense. If we were in person, we'd respond to somebody who spoke to us. We should be doing that on social media. Analyze your insights in your analytics. So all social media has tracking. Analyze essentially how people are relating. Pay attention to how they are connecting with you. What kind of content are they really responding to? And then do some research on your hashtags and on the keywords that people search for online. If you're trying to attract audiences, you want to create social media content that meets them where they're at, that speaks their language. And all of this stuff is available to us to research online for free. So Simon Sinek, another great author and speaker, he says, listening is not understanding the words of the question asked. Listening is understanding why the question was asked in the first place. So take your listening and your social media to another level. Don't just read the comments and reviews. Pay attention to what people are trying to say to you and how they're trying to connect to you. Key number 3 is value. Value more than just the almighty dollar. Build genuine relationships and connections. The top reasons people use social media is to go and speak and connect and spend time with their family, their friends, their colleagues, make plans for Friday night, connect with someone they haven't seen since 3rd grade. No one woke up this morning and went to Facebook and said, I can't wait for somebody to market to me. I can't wait to see a Facebook ad. I just woke up wanting it today, right? Nobody says that. So they're there for these very personal reasons. If we don't participate in that, then they just feel used, and we don't get the response that we expect, and we don't see the impact of social media. So each company and organization doesn't have just one big audience. We all have niche audiences that we're talking to, and each of these audiences define value in a different way. If I'm a 20-year-old in college going to a bookstore, I am going there for different reasons and define value for myself very differently than I'm a mother of 3 kids who's coming in after work with very little time on my hands, right? So think about not just your whole audience, but the different segments of your audience and how social media is going to reach them. And you have to go deeper than just price and quality. We live in a world with 7.5 billion people and millions of companies. And the truth is I can buy my products and services from anywhere. So why do I choose you? I choose you because we have shared beliefs, shared values. You understand my expectations and all of these different things that speak to me as an individual. So we want to make that connection and stand out. Gary Vaynerchuk owns the largest social media company in the United States. And his basic social media principle is give, 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 ask. That means when you're on social media, you should come prepared to contribute and give 3 times as much as you get back. Right? That's just the world of human connection. We don't show up saying, me, 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 me. We show up in the world and say, how can I participate? How can I contribute? How can I provide value? How can I make this a better world, a better place? How can I be helpful and useful? Key number 4, journey. Courageously try new things and fearlessly embrace new tools and strategies. So social media as an industry is literally changing while I'm standing on this stage right now. In 1 day, in 2 days, in a week, in a month, huge shifts can happen in the technology, in the algorithms, in the trends, in the features. And so we have to have what I call a flexible mind. If you're looking for some type of formula that you're going to be able to apply to everything and have it work on social media, you're about to be very disappointed. Because humans are complex and these systems are based on people, right? So there is no one size fits all. It's really about having a flexible mind, embracing your opportunities, and being able to evolve with the industry. So when you're interacting with people throughout their experience with you, there's many touch points that they have. There's not just one pathway. They might purchase a product, they might attend an event, they might sign up for your newsletter, they might go to your website, they might look at your Facebook, they might see you on Pinterest. You have to understand their journey, that customer journey, their path to becoming a customer and then maybe even a repeat customer, right? So what paths do your different audiences take to get to that final destination that you want them to reach? And how do you engage and walk that path with them? The deeper that you understand that journey, the more that you're going to create those connections that matter so much. So there's some simple things you can do, again, to get started. Map your customer's current journey. If you have Google Analytics on your website, go to the social data area and find out which channels people are coming from. And when they come from Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and LinkedIn, what do they look at on your website? That's a perfect place to begin understanding their journey online with you. Create and share multimedia content. So the world of having text and a photo as a post is over. Do a boomerang on Instagram. Do a live stream on Facebook. Make a photo album. Make a collage. Do video content. Expand yourself into these other forms of communications and think about your niches. And as you think about the individual audiences that you really want to connect with, it's incredibly important to be relevant and useful to them. Right? If they can't identify that what you're offering really means something to them and matters to them, again, they're going to be in a sea of things that they forget throughout their day. So Rand Fishkin, one of the top SEO professionals and experts in the United States, he says measure your customer journey, not just your conversion path. So in marketing, we focus a lot on conversions, which is sales, lead generation, things like that. But the truth is we need to focus on more than just that bottom line. And we have to really think about that journey and that experience that brings people to a place where they choose us, where they purchase our products or services, or they connect with us in a deeper way. Key number 5 is partnership. And this is where small to medium-sized businesses have a huge opportunity in the world of social media. We are not giant corporations sometimes. We don't have endless budgets of hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend. But what we do have is connections to other people in our field, in our industry, where we can grow our reach and exposure. So don't be afraid to make mistakes and risk failure and ask questions and learn from others. Strive to grow and not be perfect. The school that I run, I started with a competitor. We were competitors for 8 years, and we came together to build a company that has done better than the other 2 companies that I've run. Right? So essentially, it's not about dog-eat-dog competition, don't steal my people, right? We've moved past that. There's, again, 7.5 billion people on the planet. There are customers to go around. Okay, there's opportunity for all of us. So we need to work together and learn from each other. And in an industry that changes constantly, you need to have partners in this field that will help you stay up to date. You can rarely stay up to date by yourself. So work together and collaborate. Again, going back to that human center. We're not trying to be perfectly polished, commercialized, and out there in the world. When we do that, we lose our authenticity on social media. There's many studies that prove people would like to see a mixture of commercial and what we call DIY content, which is my live stream doesn't have to be perfect. I can have no makeup on, sitting in my living room. As long as I'm talking about something that matters to you, my content is valuable. And so I need to connect with other people who understand the audiences on that level so that we can work together. Another big thing around working together is that most of the news feeds on social media really react and respond to conversation and back and forth. So when you have partners and influencers and other organizations and companies that share your audiences and your values to work with, you can create those conversations in a bigger way. And you can drive both of your content higher in the newsfeed so that more people see it. So partnership marketing, again, you can start with just a few key things. Identify people that are really active on social media. Again, if you have a partner and they're very lovely people, but they only update their Twitter like twice a year, bye. I love you, but you're not really going to help me get more exposure, right? So I need to choose partners that are really active, understand the value, and I need to start putting together a strategy where we tag each other, where we share each other's posts, where we engage in conversations through comments and hearts and crying faces and angry faces and laughing, right? We need to campaign through social advertising together, not apart, if we really want to have an impact. And this is actually true about everything in digital media. So this is going to apply to email marketing. It's going to apply to your website, to your blog, to your social media, all of these different things. If you can work together with people who share your common vision, your common goals, and your common audiences, you're going to be able to support each other in a way that drives more reach and exposure for everyone. So Steve Jobs said, great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. So even if you're a small company with just 2 or 3 people, start to think of your team on social media as bigger than that. And pull those people together for more strategic planning and idea generation and working together in collaboration. So this is my friend Tyler Garrison. And Sunday morning, Tyler died in a motorcycle accident. It is one of the saddest things that has happened to me in probably the last 5 years. It was actually very hard to make this trip because I would like to be home with all the people that are going through this moment right now. But as I prepared for this talk, I was amazed at the vision and the power, the human connection, the listening, and the journey that Tyler has done with his customers in our city and across the globe. So much so on social media that not only is his personal name, but the name of his business being talked about by thousands of people right now today. Because he understood the value of human connection, he understood how to use social media to really evoke feeling and passion from people so that they believed in what he did, so that they would continue to advocate and talk about the goals of his company and the vision that he had for making the world a better place. So even though Tyler is no longer on this plane, everything that we just talked about, these 5 keys to success, they continue moving forward. The team at his company is able to take those 5 keys, continue his vision, and move forward. So Brené Brown says, I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. And what I'm asking you to think about today is, do your customers feel seen, heard, and valued? Do your staff, does your team feel seen, heard, and valued? If not, you need to start incorporating that into your social media today. And if you know that they do feel these things, then you're on your way to real social media success.